of what the Oriental Hotel, there you are, Norm, looked like 160 years ago. And if we have our way, it can look like this again.
Yes.
Thank you. Whenever I'm asked to come to these rallies, I always think what an amazing group of people you are. You've never sat back and said, we don't want it. You've actually come up with other things that the site can be used for. You've been imaginative. You've always given a solution. A lot of groups aren't capable of doing that. The Greens will stand with you. We were here at the start, we'll be here at the end. But there's three main reasons. It's too close to the mobile tanks. That endangers the community. There's no need to overdevelop this site in that way, and we have to protect the jobs at the Docklands. We know what happened at Cockatoo Island. This is built and you can see the docks being closed. There are hundreds of jobs there that need to be protected. You're amazing. You've done yourselves really proud in this entire campaign, and I know if it's just sheer willpower, you will win. Thank you.
I just want to go through a few numbers because we're entering the 5th year of this campaign.
Wow.
It is the 5th year of this campaign, and this is the 3rd public rally that we've had. Each one's always been markedly different to the other, but we've always had good weather, so we've got connections. Not only is this the 3rd rally, but we've packed out council chambers at least 4 times by my recollection. Not only have we done that, but we did all the setup work when the state government called it in. We knocked on 400 or more doors. We knocked on heaps of doors around this community. We surveyed 400 people in their homes in this community about what they felt about the development. We put together, in volunteer time, a huge submission to the Advisory Council, which carried great weight. We packed out the Advisory Council hearings, and we had good people there every single day for 3 weeks. I'm losing count of the number of weeks that we've been at VCAT so far. I'm sure it's at least 10. I might be wrong. I might be underestimating that. There's a huge number of cases that are on foot. We've had heaps of monthly meetings, and we don't give up. Andrew, one of our great campaigners who helped us with the PA today, told me a story the other day that he was walking his dog along the development area, and there was an old man walking in there who had a go at him. And he had a go at him because you crazy Williamstown residents, you're costing the developer so much money they haven't been able to do anything yet.
Hey!
That tells me we're being effective. But there's 2 things that we always hear. 2 things that are reported on us by those of us that don't want us to succeed, and that is that we're just anti-development. And the other thing that we sometimes hear in the community is, I support you, but I don't know if we can win. These are the 2 things that we have to fight against, because when it comes down to it, as long as we don't give up, we will get what we need at this development. We will make sure that there is appropriate and sustainable development. As far as us being anti-development goes, I don't know of any other group that has put more time, energy and effort into trying to come up with alternatives at that site. You'll be hard-pressed to find anyone in this community that wants nothing to happen down there. What we want is just something that's consistent with our needs as a community, that our needs become before the greed of the developer. Now, as far as the hope element goes, I think it's up to us to build hope in this community that we can win. And I know that we can win because not only have we been going strong for 5 years, but this developer, their whole strategy has been designed to try and make us lose hope. None of the key developments in that complex have been approved yet. We've had a lot of ours at VCAT, but the 50-metre tower hasn't been approved yet. The whole block there, while they've got the demolition approved, there's been no approval for high-scale, high-density residential buildings in that block. We've held them off. What does the developer do though? They start with the edges. They start with the demolition. What they are trying to do is make us feel like it's already going to happen. But it's not. 98% of that site has not had any development approval yet. 98% of that site has not had approval for the sorts of greedy developments that ruin our heritage, that ruin traffic on the roads, that we want to stop. And you know why it hasn't had approval yet? Because of us. We're the ones who stopped it, and we're the ones who will dare to dream for an alternative vision down on that site, a vision we can be proud of passing on to our kids of the next generation of Willie visitors. Because what we're doing is fighting for the future of this community, but at the same time we're fighting for the right of every single Victorian to meaningfully have a say with the shaping, character and development of their community. We're on the front line of democracy, and I applaud you all for doing that. So we've had a couple of volunteers today who've come up with some chants, and we're going to practice them before we march on down. I still think we've got a couple of posters left though, so if you don't have a Need Before Greed poster, put up your hand. We should have a couple of people coming around with them. Do we have any left? Are we all out? Just down on the side here, we've got some people down here. And further down on the other side. So a couple of chants. The first one is a very obvious one. I'm going to chant out need, and I want you guys to chant back to me before greed, all right? Let's get that one down pat. So, firstly, need.
Before greed.
We can do this a bit louder. Need.
Before greed.
Need.
Before greed.
All right, good, we're getting there. Now, a big shout out to Michael for this next one. Hopefully I get it right. So I'm going to yell out no tower, and I want everyone to yell back at me people power.
Oh,
all right?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that one. I couldn't come up with that with myself. That one myself. Okay, so no tower.
People power.
No tower.
People power.
No tower.
People power.
All right, great. I think we can do this. We're going to march behind the Stop Demolition banner there. Well done to Virginia. Well done to Liz for painting that up for us. We're going to have our posters up high, and we're going to take the left-hand side of the road before we hit the Oriental, and then we've got